Hello, good afternoon, everyone.
That's not
Hello.
so. That's not so.
If you're happy to be here once again, can I see your emojis? Can I start applying emojis? Just use different emojis. Wow, 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 wow. You are all welcome to RBF edition 22.0. And here we have our moderator. So we will be leading out Mr. Badru and Lekan. So early the time for some minutes, we engage us in some things what to expect during this session. Over to you, sir.
Okay. So good afternoon once again. So we're talking about how men build mental resilience based at work and careers, everything around every area. And so then our first speaker is Mr. Timileyin Ayodeji. Then our second speaker is Mr. John Ovi. So can you hear me, sir? Hey, listen. So we can just see. You can
Yeah,
have
we're
this.
with you. We're with you.
Okay, sir. So we have John, Mr. Timileyin Ayodeji. So which is going to help us talk more about. Who will talk more about that, sir? So Mr. Timileyin, you have the floor, sir.
Um, I think Mr. Timileyin, I think maybe it's
Yeah,
having
he drops out.
network
So
issue.
yeah.
Let's
Do you have his
just
bio, though? Can
yeah.
we read that?
I'm not with his bio.
Or you didn't ask him for it?
No.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes back. But I mean, now that he's not here, what do we do? So I think we can have a
Okay.
discussion round when it comes back. Then we can start later, right?
All right. All right.
Yeah.
So talking about mental health, actually, it's not a new topic. Just it's just that we don't have maybe government supporting system for it, but it thanks the life of NGOs that we have around and all that, and groups like this where we are able to discuss it, and particularly it's also a great opportunity to have a session like this whereby it talks about men's mental health also. Men's mental health at times are often downplayed, and people always see
Hello,
men as a strong
can
being,
you
strong being
can you
that
hear me?
they can handle such things or different things. So today we'll be going deeper how men face how men handle mental health issues. I mean, their resilience in the face of things like during transition. Sometimes transition sometimes could be maybe changing jobs, changing career, moving into marriage, from single life to marriage, and then you may just have just a load of weight to think about, and you may even forget to do some things. So we will be talking about mental resilience in leadership also. Men, we live in a patriarchy society, and we often think that leaders should not be vulnerable. Leaders are perfect. They should. So we'll be talking about that aspect, mental resilience in leadership, either at home, in relationship, in workplace, how we go about it. And for the next session, which will be handled by Mr. John, uh, we'll be talking about basically mental support system and habits that inform all that uh, habit that forms mental, let me say mental decision. Yeah. So we basically talking about that and the support system that will enable mental health. Um, Today we have Mr. John and Mr. Timileyin. Mr. Timileyin will be speaking first. I will be our first speaker for the day. Then Mr. John will come up. Uh, Good afternoon, sir, Mr. Timileyin.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you, sir.
Yeah,
But your
thank you.
voice is kind of low.
Can you hear me now? Is it better now?
Okay. If you can hear you very well, can I see your emoji? Yes, I
Um,
can hear you.
okay. So, good morning from this side.
Oh, we are in the afternoon here.
Yeah, I understand. Okay, can you hear me better
Okay.
now? Hello, is it better now?
Hello.
Hello. Okay. Okay, I think it's better now. Yeah, thank you very much. So, my name is Timileyin Ayodeji. So, I really appreciate RBF for this opportunity. So, um, yeah, when I was asked that, okay, can I say something about all these and to be one of the speakers, I was like, okay, fine. Um, let's let's learn together. And because when I was trying to prepare and just to bring some things together, I was trying to make sure that I try to stay on the lane of what I'm given, and also to also learn. So I'm not an expert in the field, but uh, yeah, I believe we'll be able to learn some things together. So I will be sharing my screen for us to see. Um, let me. Okay, okay, can you all see my screen? Yeah, please. I want to. Okay, thank you very much. So,
Yes, sir.
okay, thank you. Um, okay, so as as the moderator have said, we like the topic for today's meetup is mindset engineering, how men build mental resilience. So I try to check a couple of things. Like I just look at the topic and I check. The first thing that comes to my mind is engineering. So like in this context, I like what does the word engineering means? Which means you are trying to, let's say, build. You are trying to modify something for effective usage, right? So you're trying to build, maybe change, yeah, or you are trying to fix something for effect, yeah, for a better usage, right? So, and I also look at like the word resilience too as well, giving it to this context as well. I see it as maybe you viewing failure as a necessary learning oriented part of a design process. So now let's we'll be like diving into like the main thing. So and so first thing now, like why do we need to talk about this? Why do we need to talk about this? Like the first thing I want us like, because of transition, because I have focus, I have two particular focus which I'm still going to talk about in this particular slide over here. So I have two focus area. That's resilience in transition. So which means we are trying to like understand the unique pressure facing students and maybe working men during a critical life change. You are trying to move from a job to another job. You are trying to change school. You are trying to maybe change from a particular level of academics to another level. You are just moving. You are changing. You are changing. You are transitioning. So, and also the other part is about leadership, building mental resilience to lead effectively at home, schools, and the workplace. So let me go back to this second slide. As I said, why do we need to talk about this? So I was like, okay, fine. Like this is important because a lot of people transition are most frequent and they are intense for men impacting, and this impacts schools, career, families, and economic stability. So, like most of the time, men are expected to like, okay, you have to change things, you have to do this, you have to do that, and so on. And men are often expected to hold things together, to stay silent. Like you are meant to carry the weight. You are not meant to complain. You are not meant to. You are not meant to just be a man. Like the word, be, you have to be a man. So you have to hold everything, be the one to carry all the burdens, be the one to like just be the one to, yeah, like at the receiving end of most of the things. That is how the that is how that is how the economic is wired. That is how people see things. That is how everybody see things. So, and also we have unmanaged pressure that can lead to burnout or and poor coping mechanisms like addictions and withdrawal and things like that. So we need to. These are the reasons that why we need to talk about all these things, most especially this topic. So like I have more like a simple model here, more like a framework. So and we have stress, what is which is what is happening to you, and we have story, what you tell yourself about it, about what is happening. Because like when we have something, if something happened, two people will have different opinions. That is why we are humans, right? We have different opinions about the same story or about anything that happens, about the same events. We have different views, different opinions. That's why we have a lot of research today because, like in academics, you see people come and come together. They talk about this. No, this is my view. This is your own view. You see different views, right? So, um, can you still hear me? I hope okay. Thank you very much, sir. So, like,
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
okay, thank you. So we have different views, different perspective about things, and also the second, the third part is the system, what you repeatedly do in response. So, which more like habits, support, and things like that. Now, if you look at the story, what you tell yourself, what are the things you you actually tell yourself about things that happens or things that is actually going on. Now, I have something here that says that you can't always change the stress, which means you can't change, like life happens, you need to grow, you need to change things, you need to relocate, you need to move, you need to go for your masters, you need to go for your PhD, you need to change job, you need to be a father in some point, you need to marry, do all those things. So like you can't change the pressure, the stress that is coming from those areas, right? But you can rewrite the story, like what you tell yourself about what is happening to you at a particular time. You can actually rewrite all those things. You can tell your like you can decide to look at those things from a very different perspective. And you can also upgrade the system, which means your response to what happens. you can change it. You are in charge of the story and the system. You are in charge. You are not really in charge of the stress. So you don't need to bother yourself about the stress, but you are in charge of the story and you are in charge of the system. So which means you are in charge of what you tell yourself about what happens, and you are in charge of your response to what happens. So, and like, just to focus on the first part um uh of my talk. So says resilience in transition. As I said earlier on, students, you might want to change, maybe grades, shifting identity, finances, comparison, working men, you change jobs, marriage, become a father, relocations, and things like that. So, like, transition is not just a schedule change, but an identity shift. So, which means, because when you become a father, like the way you think, like when you, like, I'm going to give an example. When I got married, I, like, my thinking changed, because before I used to think of myself like I'm the only one. So I think of myself. If I want to do things, I just do. Like, I just do it. Like, I don't need to consult anybody, like, in code. So I don't need to, like, sit down with someone so that we'll now discuss on, okay, I want to, this is what I want to do. So I do my thing, right? So, but after, like, I have, so I can't just decide and do things, right? So, like, there is a change, there is a shift. As I said earlier on, about, don't forget about the definition of engineering that I said something about, like, you changing for effective usage, right? So there's a change, there's a change. So, like, there's a change. I can't just decide and, okay, this is what I want to do. Even if I want to do something, I need to put at the back of my mind that I need to consider my family. So, okay, so from why me to why now, right? So we have some traps and like, things that happens that people fall into, and the solution. You have something like why me, which is more like you focus on blame, creating analysis, paralysis, and you keep stuck in the past, in things that have happened, forgetting the past, that it is normal, like, it is okay to not be okay, right? It is, as like, it is okay to not be okay. It is normal. So it is normal for you to, okay, maybe face some things, but the way you respond also matters. So, but it should be focusing of, like, you need to focus on problem solving, uh, moving immediately to planning and driving constructive actions. So, which means the way you react to the stress matters. The way you look at the stress matters. The way you look at things that happens matters. How you see them matters. Do you think about, okay, what are the things I need to do? How can I get out of this? And one beautiful thing that I used to tell myself over time is, if something happens to me, like, maybe, like, something that, maybe what I don't really want, or something that is actually stressing me out and things like that, I look at it that, okay, this situation has already happened, right? I cannot change it because I don't have control over it. So I think most of the time our problem is, we try to focus more on what we cannot change. So I can't change what has already happened. So the best thing is, I should look for the way forward, try to change what I have in my control and the way I react to it. So, like, this is like a question for everybody, that what is in my control? Just ask yourself, what is in my control in the next 24 hours, that you can just think about something you are, like, maybe passing through or going through right now. As a man, ask yourself, like, what is in my control in the next 24 hours to actually change? What can I change? Think of one thing that is stressing you, that you are facing right now. Just try to think about it and ask yourself, like, like I'm giving us like maybe something like maybe 30 seconds. Just try to think and ask yourself like what can you change? What is in your control? Which you can really think about, not what is not in your control. Okay. I hope you you can still hear me. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. So um now also another thing I want us to talk about also is from solo to supported. Like as I said something earlier on, like as um men or man, we don't really the way the society is being structured, we are not allowed to talk. We are allowed to because it is says like if you talk about your problem as a man, you as like people look down on you that maybe you are weak, but that's not really the case. You don't try to carry pressure like silently. You can't carry things alone. You can like you can you can increasing isolation and stress, risk of breaking alone. These are like things we need to avoid. Then what are the solutions? You need to build like a system, share things. I don't know, maybe someone has experienced this before, that when you are very angry about something, or let me say you are just angry about someone, and maybe you just speak with your friend about the issue. Like it's as if like a burden is lifted off you, right? So like it's as if a burden is lifted off you. So sometimes we need like it's not that the person wants to give you a solution. It's just for you to just have people you can talk to. Like people you can, this is what is going on. For me sometimes like I just go to Prof's DM, and I just like, okay, this is it, this is what I'm thinking, blah 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 blah. We just talk for length sometimes, not all the time, because he definitely is very busy, and I'm also busy. But sometimes I just this is what I'm thinking now. This is what I am trying to do now. This is what I'm trying to do now. Just pour my heart. It's not that he wants to help me out with all those things or help me to execute them, but like definitely we give his own advice, right? And that way, like sharing that thing like helps me mentally, helps me, even like his advice too gives me another perspective. So because sometimes when you are in this situation, you might a little bit not be able to think deep about the whole situation, because you are like, but when you have an external, you gain external perspective about what is going on to you, and that actually increases resilience capacity. So like this is just like you can just build your team. You have friends, people you can talk to, people that can tell you the truth, actually friends that can tell you the truth, mentors, people that will guide and maybe help out more like a coach. So, and I have a key insight here, which is isolation increases stress, connection builds the resilience you need. Okay, so please, I would like the moderator to like maybe just send me a chat or put it in the chat box for me to know my time, because I don't want to go out of the time. So I will know how to be able to move like with the time, because I don't know my time. I'm just talking, so I don't know when I was meant to stop. So please, I will appreciate that. Thank you. So like from perfection to iteration, like, so if you look at this, if it is not like, we have some fixed mindset, this is, if it is not flawless, I failed, right? And like see mistakes as failure. Some people see mistakes as failure, leads to procrastination, create fear of starting. Like sometimes I'm actually in this particular category that I have a fixed mindset about things because to me, I think I see myself as someone that likes things to be perfect. Yeah, I can see that I like things to be sometimes perfect. So like if I don't really see how this thing will go, I might not really start. Like just to put it in a single word, sometimes I overthink about things like overthinking, right? I I can do it like try to think this, and this. If this happened, then this will happen. Okay, what if it is this? And at the end of the day, it leads to procrastination. Like I might just abandon the stuff and just leave it that way. But growth mindset is I can adjust weekly or keep moving. Like I can adjust things as I'm trying to do them. I can I can I can change. Mistakes is more like a data point. Um, it encourages momentum and allow for course correction, which means I can change things. Okay, when I do it this way, like I and it's not working, I've learned. Let me say, if I do it 10 times and it doesn't work 10 times, right? I've learned 10 times of not doing it right, of not like of like 10 ways of not doing that thing. So I've learned 10 ways of not doing that thing. So like that is like the right mindset. That is like the right mindset. So what I do, what do I learn? What small change will I make? These are things you can actually ask yourself that okay, like this week, what do I learn? What change will I make and things like that. There are some times that I do some things I just okay, like what can I do better? Because it is good to like change. So success is not a straight line. So it is not a straight line. So you need to adjust a series of adjustments. You need to keep going over and over and over. Okay, so like this maybe just for 30 seconds or 20 seconds. I want you to just like think about something, think about a situation you are right now. Forget about the old story of oh, I'm completely lost. Maybe you are behind, you are not too good. Right now, I also have something that I'm still like, okay, I think I don't have the enough knowledge about this field, but I'm just trying to, okay, let me just keep learning. It doesn't really matter. So I'm still new in this field. Just a background story, like a very quick one. Like I'm trying to, okay, like change field. Yeah, not really change field completely, but it's still related to what I'm doing. But yeah, but I just need to learn it a lot. I've actually learned. I even have certificates in that area, but sometimes I believe that do I even know anything in this field? Like, do I really know things at all? Like, I'm just trying to okay, let me learn, let me just keep going, let me just keep learning. Like, because whether I know something or not, like, it's not really in my capacity, like to judge that. The only thing I can do is just to equip myself with more knowledge and keep learning, grow bit by bit, and keep growing and keep learning. So that is that on that aspect. So the second aspect of my talk also yeah, morning, afternoon, evening, anywhere you are in part of the world. Well, morning from here. So um uh, resilience, yeah, everyday leader, right? So resilience as a leader. So like what is um leadership? Leadership is yeah, the weight of responsibility you carry for others. Now, whether you like it or not, whether you believe me or not, everybody is a leader. When you are taking responsibility for at least one person, you are a leader. So and I believe this meetup is for men, right? Yeah, ladies can join, but mainly for men. So at one point of our lives, we are going to become a leader, even if you are not in any leadership position. You are going to have a wife, you are going to have children, and you will be the role model, right? You'll be a leader at that point. So when you are carrying responsibility, so this is necessary for us to talk about. So the reality is not about title, it is about influence and reliability. So like it's not about title. As I said earlier on, you don't necessarily need to hold any position to become a leader. So um okay. So we have like I just do this just to like just look at how things like leadership pillars and like emotional stability, be calm in the room, not the chaos, right? So like being the calm person, not the person that, because yeah, that should be one of the ability or the responsibility of or attribute of a leader, like emotional stability, not up and down today or something. Your emotion state sets the tone for others. You can't like if you are the father, so the way you behave will actually influence your child, your wife, and things like that. So clarity as well. Clarity. So you don't fake positivity, right? You you face um I would say you face reality honestly, just to be honest with yourself. Like at home, you need to be clear about things, the money, stress, limitations. You need to be very clear that this is what you think, this is your limit, like your limit. There are some people that they cannot I have couple of friends. I have couple of friends, and one thing about me is when I meet someone maybe for the first time, I try to okay, what are the things I can actually do with this? But okay, you are my friend, but do you know that there are some people that you cannot? You have a certain way you can like they have limitations or how they can actually play with you. But you have like and you are very close friend. That doesn't mean that you are not friends. But if you say some things, maybe jokingly, they can take it personal, right? So like you have to be very clear about money, about stress. Prof has said it a lot of times, most especially about this money in marriage, that he is not always in charge because he doesn't really like, oh, I want to go and buy biscuits for the children, give me money and things like that. So that okay, be in charge, right? So he is already clear that okay, this is what like this is my own capacity because I don't want that you asking me, give me money, give me this, give me like it's more like a stress, right? So yeah, just be in charge, take over and just observe. So you save yourself stress. So that's clarity, right? And at work you have to like set goals, meet up deadlines, expectations, and so the most important thing is you need to be true to yourself. Clarity. So consistency as well. People feel safe with what is predictable. When when you say A, and yeah, you are consistent with that, like consistent results. So you show up on time, keep promises, follow through. Like not that you just promise maybe your children and things like your wife about something. Oh, I'm going to get you this, and they're like, oh, yeah, things happen. Like as I said earlier on, okay, maybe finances and yeah, but it will be that is where clarity comes in that oh, this is what is going on, this is what is going on. I cannot get this at this time. But consistency also matters. Um, I'm still trying to check for the message from the moderator if to know about my time because I don't want to go out of my time. So like more like how all this stuff I've actually said, how does it show up in homes, in our school and work, just based on what I'm asked to talk about, like the application. So in home, stay calm in conflict instead of escalating. So for me, sometimes when me and my wife are trying to like maybe talk about a particular thing or issue, I just be like, okay, fine, because one thing about me is I don't know how to uh, I'm trying to look for the right word to use. Like when things happen, I'll tell you like exactly. Like, I don't know how to like put some maybe try to package things. I'll just tell you like this is it. So like straightforward with my this thing, but I sometimes I think I see that like it doesn't work at all because when everybody's angry, like the emotion is high and things like that. I just like keep quiet, and afterwards when everybody is calm, I'll be like, okay, this is what I think, this is what you like, this and that. Just be like, okay, fine, I'm sorry. And thank God you also said something related to this on the group chat when Prof was saying that like if not for the Holy Spirit, that he has said a lot of I'm sorry, right? you know, that if not for the Holy Spirit, that he will that he won't say anything, bye, I'm sorry. So that is just like stay calm in situations, apologize quickly when you make mistakes. Like as like the way men are, maybe the way we are wired or the mentality we have, that is why we are having mindset engineering, right? Don't forget the definition of engineering I gave us the other time, that you modify something for better usage, right? So maybe the way we are wired, or maybe the way the economy has wired us, like we to apologize is always very difficult for us, right? To apologize is always very difficult. These are where we can actually apply all these things in school, practice fair team work on groups projects, communicate early if deadlines are tight. If you cannot do something, you communicate. That's a very good attribute of a leader. There's clarity there. So you support people, um, and your peers, and do feedbacks without defensiveness. Feedback is very good because, as I said earlier on, I said something about, okay, mentors, you need to have people that can talk to you, that can tell you the truth, right? So you need to get feedback. Feedback is also important in if you are changing, you are moving, you are like doing things, you want to grow. Feedback is very important. But don't forget the way you handle the feedback also matters. So that's it. Like asking for help, like you ask people for help rather than just hiding your problems and things like that. So like this, you can just like maybe some daily 5 minutes check-in that you can do, like just to build the habit of awareness about like about what you do, your sleep and things like that. You can just like the trigger, right? What stressed me today. So you can just name the specific things, the events. Sometimes I like if maybe I just had something, or maybe I say something to someone, I'll just like stop for a minute and be like, no, that's not the best way to do that. So I just be like, okay, next time I'll like, I don't know if that has actually happened to you before, that when you think about something, when you say something to someone, just be like, no, I've gone too far, right? No, that's too much. Oh, that's bad. Something like that. Just be like, ah, no, no, that's too much. So, like the I response as a victim or as an engineer, right? So, someone that is trying to, do you respond as a victim or as someone that is trying to like change for better? So, which means as a victim, you ask that, why me? And as an engineer, okay, what is the system here? Okay, what's going on here? What can I change? What is in my control? What is out of my control? Then the adjustment, what would like 1% better response look like? So which means like just look at it again and be like, okay, what's the best way for me to reply or to behave? Yeah, so this is also like just relating to the leaders, the leadership thing. So like you can just, okay, what are the wins? Where did I handle pressure well? Like you just look at your wins, what you've done correctly. Okay, how can you do better? Um, your system, the system you have around you, the things you can control. How can you make it better? Right? What support do you need? So what are the things you need? What people can you what type of people can you talk to, and so on. Okay, so and also one thing that is also important, like as a practical tool, is like we can also add the conversations we are trying to avoid. Like most people, like as men as well, we don't really say things because we believe, oh, when we say this, we'll be looked down on, or when we say this, we avoid saying things, we avoid saying our mind, we avoid, like, because we have to be a man. And it is okay to feel that way. Like it is okay to be stressed. It is okay. Everybody, like, it is okay. Yeah, maybe literally people have one or two things they're actually going through. So it is okay to feel that way. You are not alone. So like we have something like this that you can just go this way. Here is what I'm noticing. Uh here is how it's affecting me or us, depending on the situation. Here is what I would like to try instead. What do you think? So you can go this route. You can go this route as being listed here. So which means you have, like, you've observed. So you just come with, okay, this is what I have observed. Okay, this is how this thing is affecting me. Okay, this is what I propose. And okay, like you open it up. What do you think about what do you think about the situation? So like couple of times I've actually used um this concept, and like it has worked perfectly, because before I'm someone that does not like when things happen. I just be like, yeah, I'm sorry to say, like Yoruba, I'll just be like pigeon, like now you sabi, like yeah, you're just on your own. Like I don't really care, right? So, but when I notice that, okay, this thing is actually affecting me, when those things are affecting me, I try to just, okay, go with it and try to. But right now, like, no, when things I see, okay, this thing is actually no, I'll just be like, oh, uh, hello, sir, this and that, hello, ma, this and that, and things like that. This is what I think. Okay, I have 5 minutes more. Thank you. I'm rounding up. So this is what I think, and this is how these things are affecting me. This is or what I would have tried instead, or what I think would be the best thing. And what do you think? Just to hear the person's perspective. So uh like, sorry, I'm putting in equations, so like as a mathematician, we have to put equation in everything we are doing. So the resilience equation, like, so transition, which means you test your inner system, is also equal to like the leadership, which means you expose if those system holds, right. So everything is still using the same skills, which is the story, which you don't have control over, the system, which you have control over, how you think, how you accept those things, then your support, how you react to those things, which is how you can actually engineer yourself, engineer your mindset. And yeah, so these are just things we can do. And I will just leave us with this, just to, because I don't want to be out of the time. So that you don't control every transition or every storm. Like you don't really have control over it, right? You do control your story, your system, and your willingness to grow. So you can control the system, that's your action to whatever that is happening to you. You can control the way you see what is happening to you right now. You can control the perspective of like the way you view things that is happening to you right now. So you can control those, and you can control your willingness to grow, your actions, the system you want to build. So resilience is not just who you are, it's simply what you practice. So thank you very much.
Uh,
Thank you, sir, Mr.
thank you
Ayodeji.
so much.
So you've done it. That's like one of the ones that stood out for me. He said, "You can change the pressure, but you write the story. But you write the story." Yes, about the simple model that is the stress, story, and system. So the stress is just there, then, but the story and the system is what we can actually change. So the stress, so it have been the same right from time. So thank you, sir. They also talked about engineering based on the word engineering that is change for effective usage. They also talked about our problem is that we focus on what we cannot change. That is, so we focus on so right now. So just try to focus on what we can change and what we cannot change. Like the stress is there. There are some things that we cannot change, no matter how we do things. So we cannot change it. Thank you, sir. So you can just signify or by dropping your question in the chat box or signify so that you can actually ask some questions. So if you have if you have questions for Mr. So any questions? So any question? So can you hear me, sir?
All right.
I think we can
Thank
have
you
all the
so much, sir.
questions together after the second speaker, right? Maybe people would have gathered the question by then, right?
Oh, yes, sir. Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Mr. Timileyin. Thank you for the wonderful session. I'll be calling on Mr. Mr. Ovi John, and he'll be speaking to us on the next session. And I want you to be expectant also. He's a convener of We Take For You, and also the one behind Sarah Steel. So he's speaking majorly on support, mental support system. Mr. John, are you there? Okay, sir, you have the floor, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. We like the party background. That's a lot of
I don't
distressing.
know. If someone can hear me, please indicate, let me know, please. I want to be sure I'm communicating like in the health. What about now? Is it better now?
Yes, it's better now.
Okay, I'm sorry. Today happens to be a very busy day for me, and I am not at home at the moment. And I'm not at home, so there may be some little background noises but I'll do my best to make sure that the noise do not disturb us much. I want to appreciate the first speaker. Wow, that my brother has done a lot of work already, setting a very good background for what I'll be discussing today. And I don't know. I want to beg because I would like this session to be a bit interactive because I'll be putting out some small questions and I would like to get answers and feedback. That is the only way we can learn from ourselves because I always say something that when it comes to issues of mental health, everybody's opinion matters. Everybody's opinion is important. Everybody's thought is valid. We can only say that my thoughts are valid if I am the only one that is concerned about mental health. But because every human being that lives is has mental concerns, let me put it that way. So everybody's thought, everybody's opinion is important, and I would like everybody to contribute to this session. I don't know. I have a slide already, and I've been trying to see if I can share my screen. It's not happening, but I can share my slide to the WhatsApp community. I don't know if the moderator or admin can help me to put it up. Allow me to do that right away. I'm trying to put it on the WhatsApp community because while I speak, I would like to carry everybody along, like I said. And please do not mind my background noise. I apologize for it earlier. I'm not in the house, I'm on the road, and I do not want to make that an excuse for not turning up for the boys today. So, wow, let's quickly dive into it. Today, I am speaking on mindset engineering, mental health, and mental resilience for men. And on my slide, there is not up yet. I put it somewhere there that mindset engineering and mental resilience for men is all about building daily strength, clarity, and accountability. And on my first slide also, I have something there that says that today is not about motivation. No, I am not coming here to talk about motivation today. I'm not here to inspire anybody. No, at all. But today is about structure. As boys, as men, we want to talk about structure. As boys, as men, we want to talk about our mindset engineering and we want to talk about our mental resilience. Luckily for us, the first speaker has did a lot of beautiful job in explaining mindset engineering and talking about mental resilience. So I would not repeat those things again. I will just dive in straight into my presentation. And wow, moderator, are you helping me put up that slide? Are you doing that for me, please? Because I would like everybody to follow it as I speak. On my second slide, I am moving to the second slide already because I do not want to waste time. Thank you very much. It's up. I'm moving to the second slide already. Like I said, on my second slide, I say I have there that by the end of this session today, you will have number one, a simple daily mental routine. Number two, you will have one resilience habit to build, and you will have one accountability action. If you follow this section very well, briefly and shortly, these three things are what you will achieve after this session. And also, I put it there that this session ends with action, not inspiration. Like I said earlier, I am not here to inspire anybody. I am not here to motivate anybody. But I am here to help you achieve structure on how you can engineer your mindset and how you can build a strong mental resilience to face daily challenges. So on my third slide, without much time, let's go to the third slide. I have an opening question there. And this is where I would like our interactive sessions to start from. And my question says that, how mentally consistent have you been this month? How mentally consistent have you been this month? I want to put this question to everybody. and I want to get response. We are today is the 14th day of the month already. How mentally consistent have you been? And this question, the basic thing I'm asking is that how have you handled issues? How have you handled pressure? How have you handled stress this month? Who is giving me answers? I want answers, like I said. I want this session to be interactive. How mentally consistent have you been this month? Who is answering for me? Who is giving me an answer to that? I will call name if anybody is not answering. No, I have Lekan here. I have Israel. I have Sunday. I have Fireflies. I have Oluwagbenga. I have Prat Deli. I have Oluwaseyi. Then I have the convener himself, that is Mr. Emmanuel. So somebody should tell me, how mentally consistent have you been this month? How well have you handled pressure this month? How well have you handled stress this month? Were you overwhelmed? Did you allow pressures get the best of you in a stressing situation? How did you respond to it? These are things I want to hear from you. So please, who is going? Should I call Oluwaseyi, please? How have you handled stress this month? Are you giving me a response? Wow.
Can I go ahead?
Yes, please.
I think this month I've have a lot of deadlines that I need to meet up with. So like it has been like back to back and to back. So the thing that has helped me so far is just do one thing at a time. So I pick up one stuff, like I forget about every other thing. Like I assume that those other stuffs does not exist, so that I can concentrate on what I'm doing at that point, the one I picked up. So, and that has actually helped me a lot, because even I just pick up that thing, do it, then I'll have one. It helps me because I'll focus on that thing and it will increase my speed. So I will finish it very early and I have enough time to also focus on all other things. So that's how I have like tried to navigate.
Wow, that's a very wonderful response. This means that, wow, Ayodeji has been mentally consistent because he has a routine for how he has been handling pressure and his deadline this month. That's a wonderful one. Who wants to go again? Who wants to try? Who wants to try? Please, we should not forget that there's no judgment here. Whatever you say, there's no judgment. This is a safe space. Allow me to echo on that. And awareness is strength. Let me also hammer on that. So please, who is going again?
Okay. All
Okay.
right. This month actually it has been kind of let me say tiring for me because how to manage uh peaceful emotions, especially managing someone like you said and they're kind of sick and they're going to work and they're also having maybe some deliverable online, maybe through WhatsApp to attend to. Uh, I would say, how will I be able to manage it? Okay. For the online work, I don't, if there are any messages, I don't reply during the day because the pressure is there during the day. Uh, and I wait till the period, maybe around 9 to handle that while I am resting. And then for the part of managing in person, I was like, okay, when I get back from work, I have to do some calls and all that. Then I see, I let me say, like switching of emotions is it has not been easy though, but I would say I'll be trying to, but only I'll be trying to work on it, and I suspect that anything that could take that if it like maybe unnecessary question at that period, I think that it could take down my mental health at that period. So I try my best to avoid such things.
Wow. Thank you very much for sharing that with us. That is also another evidence of someone who has been mentally consistent this month. Okay, let's not waste much time on that. Let's go to the next slide, please. Um, the next. Thank you very much. There is one core truth about mental resilience that I want us to know today. Mental resilience is not a personality. Now, there is this assumption we make when we are talking. When they say, tell me 5 traits about you, tell me 5 characteristics of you. We often had resilience to it. And the truth is that being mentally resilient is not a personality, it is a system. And what when you and thank God my predecessor, this first person that spoke, emphasized on systems, engineering, and how they work with our mental health. So I want to tell you and I want to affirm it to you that weak systems create strong stress, while strong system create calmness, strength. Now what it means in essence is that if you have a way of dealing with issues, if you have a way of managing crisis, if you have a way of handling pressure, if you have a way of doing it, what it naturally means is that you have a system in place that when crisis come, when pressure comes, when situation comes, there is a way you handle it. Like my brother said, the first speaker, he outlined how he handles situations when he's angry or when everybody is overwhelmed. That is a system in place. And one thing about system is that if the system is broken, effort during crisis won't save it. That is, if as a human being, if as a person, your mental resilience is not strong enough, once crisis come, no matter the effort you put in at that particular moment, it will not save the crisis. Before you know it, you begin to get overwhelmed. Before you know it, you begin to be anxious. Anxiety steps in, and all of these things. So this system that we are talking about, that is mental resilience, how do you build it? How do you form it up? Let's go to the next slide, please. How do you achieve these systems? And even before achieving these systems, say you get, how do you even recognize them? That is why I'm going to mindset engineering now. Like my first speaker spoke, he explained mindset engineering and he related it to mindset. But now I'm telling you that mindset engineering is you designing how your mind works. That is the truth. And there are 3 steps to it. There is the input, that is what you consume, what you hear, what you read, what you see. And there's the filter in between it, that is your belief and interpretation of the things that you hear, of the things that you consume. And there's the output, the decision habits, and the how you respond to things is the output. Now, these 3 key features are very important to how our mind relates. These 3 key features are very important to how we address issues. These 3 features are very important to how we respond to stress and pressure. If you are somebody who you are always in an environment of people who are not solution driven, you are always in an environment with people who when problem comes, instead of critically examining the problem and looking for solution, when you find yourself in a problem too, you end up behaving like them. That is the truth. Then your belief and your interpretation becomes the filter for you. How you embrace these things, how you accept them, and how the output you give out thereafter. And the truth about life is that if you do not engineer your mind, life will engineer it for you. That is, if you do not build in a system that will help you to filter things, if you do not build in a system that help you to filter the things you hear, the things you consume, if you do not put in a system that helps you to filter what goes into your mind. If your belief and your interpretation is not strong enough, believe me, life will engineer them for you, because life is full of I don't want to use the word shit, but life is full of everything. Everybody is saying a whole lot of things. Almost everybody has an opinion, and in truth, everybody's opinion matters, like I mentioned earlier on, and everybody is entitled to their opinion. Now, when you consume an opinion, how strong is your belief? How deep is your interpretation in handling them? For instance, there is this, as when you talk about mental health issues, there are stereotypes, there are myths around mental health issues. Now, if you do not have strong belief and interpretation of core mental health issues, how do you react to them? Let me use a case study of what happened recently to me. After my wife put to bed, she was having postpartum depression. So, and she was throwing a whole lot of things to me, angers, reaction, because I was the one that was with her. I was the one on the receiving end. I was the one, everything, all the garbages she was throwing, I was the one receiving them. But because I had a strong belief and I had a deep understanding of that, when the woman gives birth, naturally there's a phase of postpartum depression. It helped me to be able to manage her effectively. It helped me to be able to manage her well. And I can tell you that my wife didn't stay long in that postpartum depression period. Like after 3 months, she was back on her feet, because the space she needed, the support required for her to go through that phase, I was there to give it to her. Now, allow me to also mention something, that in this period, people said a lot of things to me. People gave me 1,000,001 advices. But because I had a deep understanding and I had a system in place, a system that I had built with research, a system that I had built with information about postpartum depression, a system that I had deliberately put in mind that, okay, this is how to manage this thing. When she's cranky, when she's on the edge, it's not her fault. It's because her body is going through a phase. It's because she's going through a new life that she has not experienced before. And I was able to manage it effectively for her, and we were not having problems that much. Now, the essence of what I'm trying to use that as an illustration to achieve is that if you are not feeding your mind with the right informations, if you are not feeding your mind with informations that will support your mindset, if you are not feeding your mind with informations that would support you building a strong resilience system, believe me, when crisis come, the world will help you to engineer it. So the first thing I want to advise men to start doing now is that begin to filter the things your mind consumes. Begins to put into consideration, begin to design your belief and how we interpret things, and begin to design your decision and habits too. If you can put these three things into effective use, I can tell you that you have achieved 50% of building a strong mental resilience already. Let's go to the next slide, please, without wasting much time. The next slide. Okay, thank you very much. Now, forgive me because I already said it earlier that this session is going to be a bit of interactive. I would ask some questions and I will respond, and I will expect answers. Now, I want to say this, that for every question that I am putting out, these questions are supposed to audit us. These questions are supposed to help us identify some loopholes in our mind, some loopholes in our daily activities. And the first question is this: what do you feed your mind with daily? That's the first question. I don't really need you to answer me. Think deeply within yourself. What do you feed your mind with daily? Who shapes my thinking most? What thought appears when pressure hits me? Now, for some people, what they feed their mind with daily are the rubbish things on the social media. What some people feed their mind with daily are TikTok reels. What some people feed their mind with daily are Instagram reels. What some people feed their mind with daily are all garbages that the world throws at them. But for a man that want to build a strong mental resilience, you need to be conscious about what you feed your mind with daily. And also, you need to be conscious about who shapes your thinking most. Luckily, like I said earlier, the first speaker has done justice to this topic already. He spoke about mentorship, he spoke about guidance. It is very important. Most of the people we pick as role models today as men are not worthy to be our role models. People whose life are not worth emulating are the people who are shaping our thinking. It is very surprising that everybody now picks advice on the social media. That is the hard truth about our reality today. So we allow social media influencers to shape our thinking mostly. And I can bet you that if you continue on that thread, well, I don't know, it may work for you. But from a practical point of view, it doesn't always lead to a strong mindset. That is why when a little thing is coming up, you see people crashing down, you see men failing woefully. Why? Because of the kind of people that they have allowed to shape their thinking. Now, the third question I want you to examine critically within yourself is that what thought appears when pressure hits you? For some people, when pressure hits them, you see them saying, oh, I am finished. For some people, when a little pressure comes, you see them breaking down. For some people, when a little pressure comes, you see them cracking. And for some people, when pressure hits them, you see them standing firm, strong and agile. Why? Because they have consistently prepared their minds for it. So the thought that appears your mind when pressure hits you is very, very important. Very, very important. Very, very important. So these are the things, practical things you need to work on as a man. The thoughts that hit your mind when pressure hits are very, very important in how you achieve a strong mental resilience. And please, let's go to the next slide. I'm trying to just rush through my slide. So let's now look at the four core resilience habits. Four core resilience habits. Number one is the truth habit. Now, there's one hard reality about us human beings, especially men, when we find ourselves under pressure or we find ourselves facing a situation. We don't often tell ourselves the truth. And by that, we are neglecting the reality. The first way to building a strong resilience habit is having the truth habit. When something happens, when there is pressure, when there is a situation, the first thing that you should do in order to build a strong resilience towards that situation is telling yourself the truth by facing the reality of that situation. The second one is body discipline. Body discipline. When you are under pressure or you are trying to build a resilience, it's very important how you respond when you are facing issues. For some people, when they are under a little pressure, you see them shivering. For some people, when they are under a little pressure, you see them being destabilized. It is very important when we say steeze and composure 100. These are the things that makes you to build them. Your body movement is also a very, very important core habit of resilience. The third one is your emotional regulation. How you respond. How you respond to that situation. How you respond to that crisis is also a very important part of how to build a strong mental resilience. And the fourth one, which is the last on the list, is consistency. Consistency. Doing something consistently makes it an habit. Doing something consistently makes it a routine. Sometimes ago, somebody was my gym instructor was telling us something that it is better when you show up in the gym 30 minutes every day for a week than showing up one day and going 3 hours. What achieves result is consistency. So while you are facing if you must build a core resilience habit, you have to be consistent with it. You have to be very, very consistent with it. Uh, Let me now go to the last slide where I will be rounding up today on building a strong mental health, mindset, engineering, and resilience. Is that mental resilience is not never breaking down, never breaking. No. When you are saying that I am mentally resilient, it doesn't mean that you will not break. It doesn't guarantee that you will not get to your breaking point. You will definitely break. You will get to your break points. But the truth is that it is rebuilding faster and every time, which means that by the time you are getting to your breaking point, the ability to rebuild faster, the ability to put yourself together, the ability to tell yourself the hard truth, the ability to manage your body discipline, and the ability to manage your body, your emotional regulation quickly and every time is what guarantees mental resilience. Another fact is that strong men build strong systems. If you are a man and you want to be a strong man, you have to build a strong resilient system, a very strong one, because strong system build strong lives. When you see some men that, oh, this man, no matter what you throw at him, is always bouncing back, it's because that man has built a strong system in himself. It's because that man has agreed in his head that no matter what comes, he's not going to give up, and he has a way of telling himself the hard truth and facing the situation. And possibly because he has consistently filtered what he's hearing, he has built a strong filtering mechanism, and his output is what we see that make us to identify him as being strong. So men, today I want to beg you and I want to implore you that if you must achieve a strong resilience, if you must achieve a mindset that fears nothing, if you must achieve a mindset that will triumph in the presence of anything, first focus and work on the things that you consume. Two, work on your beliefs and how you interpret situations. And three, focus on your decisions and habits in hot moments. At this point, I would like to call it a day. Like I said, I will not be wasting much time, so that I will give us enough time to reflect, to think. And again, I want to thank the convener. I want to thank everybody that is putting in effort for men and boys at Real Boys Forum. You guys should keep doing the good work. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you, sir, Mr. John. Definitely for reflection, it was loaded. Like what we believe, talked about the power of consistency. What we do take is that it's better to go to a gym 30 minutes in a week daily and just going to like 3 hours. So that is power of consistency. So we also talked about that we should bring a strong system, we should bring a source systems. We talked about the true habits that what we feel. We talked about the build discipline. We talked about emotional regulation and consistency. We also talked about do feed our mind on daily that what shapes our life, that our mentors and then what thought appears when pressure hits us, that is when pressure comes in, that are we just so bad those that is when pressure came we just change it, we just keep our mind by our negative thoughts. Is it negativity that comes up positivity? It talks about our inputs, That is what we consume daily, what we consume. Talked about our filter, that is belief and interpretations, and we talking about decision and habits. So, as I said earlier, so if you have question, you can start dropping your question on the chat box or signifies so they can answer our questions. If you have question, you can just drop it in the chat box or signify for the solution. So any question?
Like, can I ask this question from both of our speakers? What is the biggest challenge you have ever faced, and how did you ensure that they did not overcome you? To speak, any of the speakers can start first.
Oh, okay. That's a very big question, actually.
Sorry for putting you on the spot.
Yeah. Overcome them in, like, I want to really understand the word overcome them in what context? Like,
Or
you,
like, how did you handle? Okay,
okay, just handle,
like,
because like the overcome to me right now is like, okay, maybe you already have a solution to the situation, or how do you just manage the situation?
yeah, I'm even
Like,
talking about like a personal experience. I know for me,
yeah,
there were two times I can point to. Is it even two or three times? I mean, like in my book, there's in chapter 3, I think I talked about. I had some very serious delays that got me really doubting my capacity, really doubting myself. First one was I finished secondary school, Badru Grammar School. I had I had 5 A1s, I had 3 B2s, and only 1 B3 or so. So like that was like 9 distinctions. But then I wrote JAMB 5 times. I took direct entry 1 time before I could get into the university. All that process was so. I was wondering, like, is it that my village people are following me? Like, I felt I was in a very dark place, seriously. But somehow, because somehow I've just learned to keep moving. Like now, like there's this thing that now who give up. There's a way they say it, but I like to say now who give up mess
but
up. Like,
mess up,
although
yeah.
that's not strong enough. That's not strong enough. I like to say the other one, but let's
Yeah,
leave it
yeah.
like that.
You don't want to
So
use
for
the
me,
F word.
exactly. So, but so I had that kind of mindset. So I just felt, oh yeah, it go better, it go better. I think that just kept me going one day at a time. Like I learned to say that, like no matter what I might be feeling, um, and just keep moving and keep making efforts. And sincerely, from that experience, I discovered that if you keep trying and you never give up, one day God will come for you and you'll be wondering, wow, how did this happen? So what kept me going
Yeah,
all those times was like this kind of positive mindset that no matter how it is, like if I did drink Gary self, I be fine, but like every people will still be asking me for help, I'll be helping and everything, but I had my own issues. So
yeah,
like that kind of thing. The second one was getting married. Like if you have read that book, Keeping Success Pace, chapter 3 or 5, like talking about 3 cycles of 5 year delays. Like each of these things took like 5 years each. The next one was getting. So finally, I got into futa, right? And the second one was getting married. Okay, first day I resumed in futa. 24 okay, resumption was 24th October 2005, right? So that I got to Akure that night. Then Tuesday I went to Alagbaka. There was no bank in Futa. Then I went to Alagbaka to pay in the bank. Then third day, 26th October, I got to the ETF hall to register and do all of those things. And then I met this lady wearing jean skirt, and somehow jean skirt is scattered my dada here. So I saw this girl and she had her paper, and it showed that she was admitted into Department of Mathematical Sciences, and she had gone through PDS, right? For me, I came through through JAM, right? And the course was industrial math. So I was like, industrial math and mathematical science, what's the difference? She said she didn't know too. Finally, we discovered we were in class. That was it. We became friends somehow, and at some point we said, okay, girl, I like you. like girl, after some initial gra or finding out if I was serious or not, she also said she liked me. Then came the battle, 5 years of waiting. And the parents were afraid and things like that because I'm not Yoruba, I don't attend their church, all this kind of consent. So it got to times where I would get into the bathroom and I would just put on the shower for nothing. I was so stressed. But what kept one big thing that really helped in that time was, the speaking in tongues, right? Like having the Holy Spirit comforts me. Like I'll just start speaking in tongues and then I'll just feel relieved. And that kept going. And the fact that we're both on the same page, like, oh, don't worry, everything will be fine. Like there was one thing we used to say then, that every Saturday will be like our wedding day is one day less to our wedding day, something like that. Like Odin Koleni, that kind of thing in Yoruba, right? And the third one was studying abroad. Like if I mean, I think you should read the book. You have it freely in the group, so
Yeah.
you should read that particular part. It's so like all those things just kept me going like that. So that's the kind of thing I'm
think
asking you.
I think I can relate with like the studying abroad because I applied over and
Yeah,
over
I did
and,
part of the
and
journey.
yeah, and at the
I don't
point
write recommendation letter, tire.
yeah, at the point at the point I just believe, okay, fine, like love letter. So we like definitely we call it love letter. Love letter has turned to like a norms. So when I see one, I don't even really I'll just be like another one don't drop. So
Exactly,
like
and at that point you're already coping. Like
yeah,
you have taken
exactly.
that
So
rejection. You didn't take it. You didn't allow it bury you. Mm.
no. Sometimes it's
Wow.
even because when I was still like in Nigeria, it's like when I see any love letter, I'll make sure that a love letter I respond with
Mhm.
like maybe one or two application. Another
Right.
application.
Exactly. Say now you go tired. Don't be me.
That was it. That and also another one that I can really think of also is when I finished my NYSC, I was trying to get something doing. Um I this was actually funny. I went to is it Ogun State or something, and I went to this school, this particular school, and they said, okay, I have to do is it mini teaching or something like that. So just to know how whether I'm actually good or not. And I actually passed, and they said they'll be paying me. It's not 25,000 naira then. And apart from that, I'll be taking like 3 subjects, and I just look at everything and be like, no, I cannot do this. So I just like went back home. There is nothing, when you finish NYSC and you are back home, the pressure, the things that everybody will be like, you just finish school now to party NYC, you finish NYC and you're not doing anything, you are still in your parents' house, which is like the mentality everybody has as a man that okay, if you are done, you have to be out. Yeah, maybe being out to helped me a lot because when you're at home, you might be convenient, and if you're in your comfort zone, you might not really be able to grow and things like that. So that also I was okay, just build the system around myself that okay, I'll just keep going and keep applying, and I was able to get my first home lesson job gig, and from there I keep on moving and moving and moving. So which actually helped me because I was able to save, which actually helped me when I was trying to leave the country to finance some things and things like that. So that's also another thing I can think of. And also one that I can also think of right now, though I'm still going through that right now, and Prof also know much about that. So yeah, but yeah, the only thing that is there is I just like I used to tell my wife that see, if this thing is not working, we just keep trying, like we keep trying any options, like other options that we have. So it's not like that's just the mindset we have. Just have that mindset that it will just like it will work out. So and as Prof said that the the day that the thing will work out, as like it reduces every day, it keeps reducing by one. So if it is going to happen on the 30th of this month, like by tomorrow, that's a reduction, right? So you are getting closer to that date. So that's the mindset. So that's the mindset. So I think yeah, Prof. I think yeah.
Yeah, that helps. That helps a lot, because I know that will be useful for somebody who might be in similar situations, and just never let go of your hope. I think that's really important. Yeah, Mr. John Ovi Azinmagba. Hello, are you still there?
Yeah, I don't think it. Okay, it's there.
Maybe he's not available. He's not able to talk. Okay, I hand it over to the moderator, Mr. Lekan. I think there's a question in the chat. You can read it out. So there are two questions, I believe. So please attend to them. Hello, Mr. Moderator. Are you there? Oh, he's not around. Okay, over to Israel, please. There are two questions
Okay.
in the chat. Yeah.
There are some questions in the chat box. I'm saying, okay, what practical daily habits, systems, and structures can we put in place to build mental toughness? What practical daily habits, systems, and structure we put in place to build mental toughness? I think before I call our mentors to answer, I would like just to say something. Our speaker said something. He said in building, there are three stages of building resilience. That is, if you don't have a structure, then the world will help you to form one. So he made mention of inbuilt. That is, in building a toughness, then there must be something of it in us. That is, there must be value that which you also correct. So our daily habit to mental toughness start from values. Let me put it like that. It starts from values. So if there are no values that we correct them, it will be kind of and then another thing is aside from the value, we should also be mindful, just as our speakers have said, of what comes in, it started from value. So if such person has a good value, you actually guide what actually comes in and what actually goes out. So uh what comes in matters, what goes out also matters. I would like to hand over to our mentor there. Sir, Mr. Timileyin.
Oh, okay, sir. And I think as the question says practical way. If I will give a practical way, and I think I said it when Mr. John was actually presenting. So I have a lot of like deadlines, a lot of things I need to do. So what I most of the time what I do is um I try to put everything down, because sometimes I'm always like in that trap of like thinking about everything in my head at the same time, which is not possible for me to carry out anything. So that sometimes like I might actually waste a lot of time. So what I do is I pen them down. Okay, this I want to do this, I want to read this, I want to check out this, I want to do that. So I pen them down. After that, I take them based on like maybe deadline. Okay, this one I have the deadline in the next 5 hours. These I have the deadline tomorrow. So I'll take the one of that 5 hours. So just to meet up like that, and I follow that sequence that way. So that is I just to stay calm, because when everything is off my head, I'm calm to actually focus on what to do and how to solve the problem. So that is a practical way I can give. So just to understand the situation, like just to like go over it again. Try to understand the situation. Okay, this is what is going on, right? Then you need to build the system for what is going on. So for me, it is I have a lot of deadlines, I have a lot of things I'm meant to do. So instead of being stressed out by those deadlines, I pen them down. I pen, oh, I need to do this, I need to do this with the deadline. Then I look at them, okay, this one should come first, this one should go first based on the deadline. And it has worked for me. So you can, so just understand the situation, try to understand this, okay, this is what is going on. Try to find a system that can actually help. So, and I hope I answered your question, sir. Okay, the moderator.
Okay, all right, sir. Mr. Pratt, I hope that answered the question. Are you there?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, sir. Moving on to the next question. Thank you for the presentation. In a situation where you try to maintain and remain positive in a stressful situation, but the stress keeps compounding, how can you keep your mental health without breaking? How can you keep your mental health without breaking? Uh, Mr. John. Okay. Our speaker, sir, Mr. Ayodeji, is. I'd like you to answer, sir.
Okay, no problem. So, what I'll say is, like, if you try to maintain and remain positive in a situation, in a stressful situation, but the stress keeps compounding, how do you keep your mental health? Um, One thing is, I said something like when I was presenting that when like you have like three phase, right? The stress that comes in, you don't have control over the stress, right? But you have control over how your perspective about it and the action you want to take, right? Which is also the same thing as what Mr. John said, that your input, then you filter, then your output, right? The input, what comes in, what's like you don't really have, you might not really have control over that, right? Things, the stress you are going through, the stuff you are trying to overcome, you are positive about it, and it keeps compounding. You don't have power over that, right? So the thing is, but your perspective, the way you look at it, you have control over that. So for me, if you can remember, when um prof asked a question about situations that you face, I said something that right now which prof actually know about. I have a particular situation, like the more I keep trying, it's as if like it's getting like just like the example you are giving right now. But the thing, like the system that I can actually say that we are like that we've built is, okay, if this thing is not working, we are going to keep trying, right? We are going to keep trying. And if we keep trying, we are not really we don't allow that stuff to actually affect us. It's not going to define us, right? For instance, you are trying to maybe you are trying to apply for scholarships and things like that, and you keep applying, you're getting a lot of rejections, and even people that you know that they are experts, right, reviewed your applications and things like that. They went over your SOP and all those things, all your application documents, and at the end of the day you are getting rejection. And maybe you now help a friend, right, and even the application is not well packaged and the person got the offer. So, like, the only thing is, it is not yet, like, it might just be like, okay, it's not yet my time, fine. I can, let me just keep applying. And one thing that I know for sure is, if you don't apply in this scenario, if you don't apply, you cannot get an offer, right? So, the best thing is you keep applying, you focus on you doing other things, find the other ways of applying, right? Maybe, okay, you're not doing some things right, or you need to do some things better, or you need to focus on some particular area. So there might be some things you need to change in your approach, which is things you have control over. You know, what is compounding, you don't have control over it, right? But the way you look at it, that okay, I'm trying, I'm putting more effort, I'm growing, and your action, okay, maybe there's some things you need to change from the definition of engineering that I gave in this context, that you keep, like when you modify something for effective usage, right? So you keep changing that thing, you keep, just like the word again, you know, engineering now, like when we are very young, when something is not working at home, you go there, you go with your distance screwdriver, you try to change and tune and do all those things. So trying to make it work, right? So something of that nature. So you can change your perspective of you can change the way you react to those things. That's the first thing. Then change your actions, change how you approach them, and I think you'll be fine. So it shouldn't define you. Like that should not be the definition of your life. Like, okay, I'm doing this, it's not working. Am I not like maybe it can never work or something like that? So Prof has given us like his life service, like a perfect example, like a practical example, a testament of God's faithfulness. Yes, but like someone staying for 5 years, like before they can get married, like it's, going through the process and like that, as if it will not work. It keep getting like 5 years. Just wait. It's not that you are not ready, you are ready, but you have to wait for 5 years. So look at the emotional stress, look at all those things. And but like here we are today, and so that is just it. Like there is action, then like everything is perspective about it, about the situation. He said something, if you remember, he said that they believe that okay, each day, the day that this problem will solve is like the day is getting like it's going to reduce by one, right? So every day, this day that this problem gets solved reduces by one. So it goes on and on and on until they have a perfect solution. So which is just the best approach. So I hope I answered your question like to the best of my knowledge. Okay, thank you, sir.
Well, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Uh, I really want to appreciate our speakers for the time and for honoring RBF for taking their time to come and speak with us on this particular issue. And it's it, it'd be awesome for me here because I've learned a lot of things from mindset engineering, modifying your mindset, building a system that worked, to being resilient when things are not working. I really learned a lot. And I'll using this medium to thank everyone that was present, that is present also. Uh, thank you for joining, and I hope we learn something that we can put in practical use, and that can also stay with us for the long time. I would like to see our emojis. Can we say thank you to our speakers? If you are online, can we say thank you to our speakers? All right, all right. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. And also using this video to thank the convener for this platform. There's some knowledge that has been displayed there at times, especially during our meetup or during the writing, that it will take years of access. What I mean by years of access is that maybe through mentorship, because mentorship now is like monetary. people are monetizing it, but yeah, we are in RBF and then we have something like this, something huge as this. So it's something to not take with levity. Every single knowledge dispense, every talk, every minute, every meetup is worth it and actually worth it. So it's an honor. In fact, to be in RBF also it's also an honor because I know most of us have been a lot of things from content being put on our WhatsApp chat from time to time, from marriages, finance, uh, leadership, academics, different things, and it has been a lot. And I would also like to implore uh, to always engage in our content on WhatsApp. Whenever we see them, engage them. If it resonates with you, speak, talk, any question or any clarification, put it there. And then don't forget always join the meetup too. It's a once in a month program that goes every second Saturday. So, but at times there might be a change on time, but just put in mind that every second Saturday there's RBF Virtual Meetup. Thank you all once again for joining. It's really an honor to have you all here. I'm going to hand over to Prof, sir. Are you there, sir?
Thank you so much. Yes, I'm here. I thank the moderator, that's Mr. Lekan Badru. That was his first time and he did a great job. Things will keep getting better. We thank our speaker, especially Ayodeji Sunday Timileyin, our soon-to-be doctor. We thank John Ovi Azinmagba for taking your time, even when it's such a busy day. We are very grateful for your time. God bless you so much. We pray that whatever you might be going through right now, you will come back and give great testimonies. I think one thing I also came out, one thing that crossed my mind when we're discussing this thing was the fact that, if you look at it, that now all the experience I have now is the reason why we can be in RBF and I can have something to say about almost everything, because I've been through some of these things firsthand. So because of that, I am able to now talk to other people. So at the end of the day, some of these hard times, they come in very handy for us as tools to encourage other people. So we can also look at it at that point, in that light, right? And I feel that seeing the positive side of every situation can also help. I remember when I finished my PhD, in 2020. Okay, slide. Yes, please. Please, you can drop your slides in the slide for the second speaker is already in the group. So I would really like to ask for the indulgence of Ayodeji Sunday to also drop a slide in the group also. I think that'll be helpful for everybody. Thank you so much. I believe that'll be possible. So like I finished PhD in September 2020. Then I landed in Nigeria October 1st, 2020. So when I got to Nigeria, I think first or second day, one of my friends in Canada, I don't know if I called him or he called me, and we're talking, and it was like, hey, EJD, now what for you? Like, who leaves Japan and goes back to Nigeria because of what? And I was like, oh, well, I'm in Nigeria now. We are here. And the next thing he said was, what kind of decision is that? So do you know what I told him? I'm like, no, I'm in Nigeria, and they just took the lights. And because they took the lights, very soon my laptop will go off. Then very soon my phone will die. And very soon I'll be forced to sleep. Because many times in Japan, because there's always light, many times I will sleep and wake up to just take a pee, right? And I will discover somebody has sent me a message. Once I start responding, another 3 hours off my sleep. So when I said that, and the guy was like, you decrease, like, that kind of, you decrease kind of response, that what kind of crazy guy is this? And sincerely, I wasn't just fooling around. I really meant it. So, and those may be hard to find the positive side of certain things, but the fact remains that there are some positive sides of some things, right? Even if it's just to build strength alone, capacity in hard times, because those hard times make us, and then those experiences actually make it easy sweet for us to tell all these stories we are telling now, because we've been through all of these things. And I trust God that for anyone who might be going through anything right now, definitely you will overcome, and to become a great testimony. the situation will not break you, rather it will make you, to strengthen you. Anywhere your strength is failing, God will come through for you. Anywhere you need to now, one of that thing I discovered is sometimes you need to say no. Like you may need to drop some things sincerely, and that's why my leadership style in RBF is that, or generally speaking, I believe in free entry, free exit leadership, because I know, I mean, for instance, in the RBF team, what I would do is every year I'll ask our leaders, are you sure with what you currently are going through? Are you sure you can still go on for another year? And people will be like, oh, me, I can't go on. No. Then we'll look for a replacement. In fact, we had somebody on, and the person, after 1 week, the person backed out. For me, no animosity, no anything, because I know people are going through different things. So for me, that's another way. So you may sincerely need to say no to some responsibilities for the time being, or so that maybe that can also ease your burden. So we may need to do some of those kind of things. So maybe you have been so sentimentally attached to some situations, but if you sincerely analyze that they shouldn't be your priority right now, go and say no, and so free yourself from that thing so you can concentrate your efforts on more important things. I mean, the most important things, if you are looking for order of priority, God is number one. Anything that takes you away from God, cut it off. After God, your wife. I'm not even saying your family. I'm saying your wife. After God, your family, your wife is the next important thing. Then after your wife, then your children, right? Then after that, maybe you can talk about your parents and all those things, and sometimes even as a pastor, you may need to go and resign from church so that you can face some more important things. Like you just want to know your priorities and say no to some things, because not being able to say no is why some people are even some people may have some burden unnecessary. Yeah, I'm beginning to preach. All the preaching have been done already. So thank you so much for coming, everyone. I thank our programs lead. I mean, thank you so much for your efforts all this time. Thank you for easing the burden. Thanks a lot. I'm very grateful for everything. To everybody who is in attendance. Now, the reason why I don't get bothered so much that people don't, maybe when we don't have too many people in attendance, is that it is recorded and it is there for posterity. In fact, you can take note of this particular video for everybody who has shared something. When the problem is solved, come and listen to it again and see how great God has been in your life. So thank God for YouTube that we have that thing there forever and ever. You can play it to your grandchildren when they come up with issues and they think their life is ending. No. Tell them I've been there. It is documented. You can listen and see. I was overwhelmed, but now I'm out here and I can say, just hold on. Who give up, mess up. Thank you once more. We continue in the group. It's always a nice time there. We thank God for the mentors we have and everybody with experience who keeps sharing and keep encouraging people. No matter what you're going through, never let your head be bowed, right? Because at the end of the day, I mean, light can even begin to shine from inside the tunnel. Like all the discussion we have had now, it may not end your problem, but definitely it has shown some light, and then you can be sure that by the time it's all over, you'll be the one we'll be inviting to come and talk to us about it again. All right, so see you again in the group, and let's have a nice time getting better together. Have a nice time. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you. Have a nice weekend. Have a
Bye,
nice time.
everyone.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, doctor.
Thank you. Thank you so much.